Hello everyone. Now, after building the AI models, now let's come to know what are the challenges and the limitation of the artificial intelligence. So, artificial intelligence introduces powerful capabilities, but it also carries structural, ethical, and technological limitations. Now, these challenges can be better understood when connected to the philosophical ideas such as those of Plato, especially his theory of knowledge, governance, and reality. Now, one of the challenges of artificial intelligence is the high development cost. The cost of developing this artificial intelligence is somehow high because they require large-scale computational infrastructure, the GPUs, require that the very massive data set for training. It also requires skilled specialists, the machine learning engineers, and the data scientists. Now, Plato argued in the Republic, the book he wrote. He argued that governance and expertise should be handled by a trained elite, the philosopher kings. Similarly, the artificial intelligence development today is controlled by a technician elite due to its high entry barriers, raising concern about centralized power and limited public oversight. Another challenge is bias algorithms. Now, these artificial intelligence systems they inherit biases from training data, from human labeling decisions, from the model design choices. You have to choose the right model, you have to choose the right labeling, you have to use the right training data. Now, Plato emphasized the importance of justice as harmony and proper ordering of society. Bias in artificial intelligence reflect breakdown of this order, where imperfect human inputs distorts what the system presents as objective truths. Now, another challenge is the privacy concern. We all know that artificial intelligence often relies on personal data. It relies on continuous data tracking. The risks include things like surveillance. They can surveil people in the street using things like facial recognition, things like surveillance. I've talked about the surveillance in the street, maybe the facial recognition, things like data misuse and loss of autonomy. Now, in the Republic, book by Plato, Plato's ideal state restricts certain types of information flow for social stability. Now, modern artificial intelligence flips this dynamic. Instead of limiting information, it overcollects it. Now, this raises opposite problem where excessive visibility and loss of individual privacy. It's very difficult to become anonymous in modern world. Completely anonymous. It is very difficult. Now, another limitation is job displacement, where the automation and artificial intelligence system can replace the routine labor, things like manufacturing and clerical works, the subcognitive tasks like data entry and basic analysis. Now, this leads to structural unemployment in certain sectors. Now, where Plato argued, now Plato believed in functional specialization, which means each person doing the role suited for their nature. Artificial intelligence disrupt this balance by redefining which tasks belong to humans versus machines, challenging traditional economic and social roles. Also, another implication of the artificial intelligence is the dependency on large data sets. Now, where modern artificial intelligence require vast level data set used for training. You must have a very large data set for you to get a more accurate model. It also requires continuous data flow for training and updates. The model keep on updating its memory, so it requires new data, new continuous data flow. Where Plato distinguished between opinion, what we call doxa, and knowledge, episteme. The artificial intelligence systems heavily depend on empirical data, which is the experience-based opinion of the world, not through understanding. Now, this means that artificial intelligence can simulate intelligence without genuine comprehension of truth. It's similar to Plato's cave analogy, where shadows are mistaken for reality. Now, from Platonic perspective, the artificial intelligence reflects attention between the appearance and reality, which is the cave analog, where artificial intelligence outputs versus true understanding. It also reflects on tension between expert controls versus domestic access, where we have the philosopher, the kings, and the centralized artificial intelligence power. It means the leaders will not have control over artificial intelligence. It also reflects on attention between the order and distortion, where we have the ideal justice versus biased data set. Now you take artificial intelligence, you train it with a biased data set, you give lawyers to use it in court, they use AI to make judgment, they end up making wrong rulings. See, out there you're going to have a biasness. So artificial intelligence is powerful, but philosophically it raises Plato's old question on a modern form, where a system that only processes appearance over grasp or justice itself.